Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome to my new video. Today we're doing an end of the year special. One of my dear followers, love you, recommended to me that I should do a tier list of all the books I read this year. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. And since I've been sick and not feeling the best and not reading, I was like, I can do that. You know what, I'm gonna sit here and I'm just gonna talk shit. That's what I do best. If you don't know who I am, that's fine. Every time I go to the bookstore, I wait to be recognized, and no one ever recognizes me. Anyway, if you look at my channel, I only do rant reviews, and that is also what this video is gonna be. Well, it's not a review, but it's gonna be a rant video. You'll see. Every book that I talk about today, I've reviewed, except one, but we'll talk about it. So if you want to know my in-depth thoughts about all of the books that I'm gonna rank today, you can go and check out my videos, please. Just so you know, a little disclaimer, this video is meant for entertainment purposes only. If you love these books that I'm gonna say I hate, that's fine, you know? Like, you are allowed to hate. No, I'm allowed to hate. You're allowed to love it, okay? You're allowed to have these books as your favorite books ever. If you enjoy them, I'm happy for you. I just didn't find joy in them. I'm just trying to be funny, okay? I'm just joking. I'm just trying to be entertaining. Okay, so let's talk about the tier list. We have a bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bitch, chill. I haven't made a video in like 10 days and I don't know how to speak English anymore. We have 6 different categories. I made this myself. Yeah, I know. These are not sorted in any type of way. We go from the bottom to the top. No, from the top to the bottom. My god. First tier is Queen of Shadows. We'll get to it. The next one is I gave it 3 stars, which was exactly 1 book this year, and everything was below that. Actually, I had 1 4-star read and 1 3-star read, and the rest was just 1 or 2 stars, so I have the Goodreads up on the side so I can look. Then, the third tier is I don't remember anything, because I've read 22 books this year, and that's not true, actually. I've read more than that. I'm lying. I read the entire Throne of Glass series again this year, so it's more books, but I'm not ranking them individually. We just have Queen of Shadows on the top, you know. Yeah. And then we have would recommend to someone I hate, which isn't necessarily like someone I hate, but just like people who I know are like trying to read more into a certain direction, like they're trying to get into fantasy and stuff, so I would maybe recommend this to them. Maybe I also hate them. Can both come together, but like I don't like books I don't want to be too harsh on because I can see how people would like them. Wattpad. Basically, those are the books that are just really bad. Like, they're really fucking bad and they should be on Wattpad. And I'm not saying that all books that or all stories that are on Wattpad are bad. That's not the case. I think that some books on Wattpad are better than the books that are published. You know what I mean? But we're just going for the bad Wattpad, like what people think of when they hear Wattpad, where they're like, oh my god, his green orbs, she sold me to One Direction. And then the last category is Colleen Hoover, because this woman deserves jail. And she doesn't belong in any other categories. Let's just get into it, honestly, like I didn't think too much about it. I'm trying to be authentic, okay? Let's start. The books on the bottom are all the books I read, it's just the covers, and they are in no order. I just, you know, put them in, and then that's how they sorted it, so I don't know what they're trying to tell me. The first book that is here is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget. You know what? I don't want to do this video. It's like I have to think of something to say for all of these books, and I like, I hated them. A Curse So Dark and Lonely. What did I rate that? Let's see. 2 stars. I don't remember anything. I can't tell you the name of the main character or any other character. No, I can't. That was such a forgettable book. Sorry. I know it's like a trilogy and people love it. You know what? Bridget has written way too many books. She's written so many fucking books. Whenever people recommend me like a very generic sounding title, I'm like, oh, who's the author? Bridget. I'm like, yeah. Like, she has a lot of books. And I'm gonna read them all, bitch. I'm gonna read them all and review them. I'm gonna shit on every single one of her books. I haven't made a video in 10 days. I haven't ranted in 10 days. There's a lot of like built up anger. I don't mean it. It's just coming out. It's my intrusive thoughts. But yeah, I don't know. 2 stars, I don't really know why. I think it was fine, but I don't remember anything that happened. I don't know the main character. No, she got on my nerves. I know she's a bitch. Anyway, let's continue. Guilt by an author whose name I don't remember. That's one of my most recent reads. It's giving Wattpad. It's giving, oh my god. It's giving I'm a mom and I wanna, oh my god, Sophie, I don't want to be too mean because I'm scared that people are gonna watch this who don't know who I am and they're gonna like take my every word. Like, I don't care, okay? If you like this book, I don't care. I'm so scared. But I stand by the fact that this was really bad. Like, this was genuinely bad. I don't really know. I don't remember anything either, even though I read it most recently. It was a pain to get through, and I didn't know. It's like a sex book. I think I wrote in my review that this book was just written so the author could write the C word, which I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. I would say it. Pussy is what she wanted to say, but a more dramatic way. But it was really bad. It was really bad. I didn't like it, and it was also really boring, and it sucked, and it's ass, and it, like, this is I don't know how stories like Guild get published. I don't know. And then when I see people say, oh, I love this book, that's also something I don't get, because like, what is there to love about this book? Like, I'm like dead serious. Like, with some books I don't care about when people are like, oh, I love them, but this is like, are you not embarrassed? I'm sorry, but Guild is really bad. Like, objectively bad. Like, not even subjectively, you know what I mean? Sorcery of Thorns? Fuck. What the fuck did I give that? 2 stars! This was a vibe. Okay, Sophie. Would recommend to someone I hate. If one of my friends came up to me and said, hey, I want to read fantasy, but I don't really read, or I don't really read fantasy, what should I read? I would say, you can read Sorcery of Thorns. It's really boring. I don't remember anything of that either. I don't remember the main characters' names. I just remember that I was really annoyed at the fact, like, how everything played out at the end. The plot was interesting. Like, the idea, the premise was interesting, but the way it was executed in the end left me wanting more. We're gonna do proper reviews now. It just left me yearning for more. No, but I don't remember anything. But if, like, I don't have any friends, but if one of them came up to me and was like, hey, what should I read? I would probably say, like, Sorcery of Thorns. It wouldn't be my first in mind, but if I thought about it, maybe, you know? And also, it's a standalone, and I'm an avid hater for high fantasy standalones, or fantasy standalones in general. Like, romance book standalones make sense, but fantasy standalones just doesn't make sense. Stop doing that. If I were a publisher and someone came to me with, like, an idea for a standalone and it was fantasy, I would just immediately kick them out. Don't even waste my fucking time. Oh my god, the Zodiac Academy, we're getting all, like, the juicy ones in the beginning. Wattpad, that's so bad. And you know what? There was a new book coming out because I saw it on TikTok. I saw people on TikTok saying, oh my god, I got the ARC or something, because they could pay to get an ARC, which is, like, weird. I thought that was sent out to people who, like, applied for it and then reviewed it, but they just do it for money. Just publish the book. Out of all of the books that are gonna go into this category, I think the Zodiac Academy is probably the most Wattpad feeling, or the most, like, cliche and terribly written. Like, it was written by 2 people, and they don't even use commas. I gave it 1 star, and I never looked back. I don't remember the characters, but every time I see, like, anything relating to it on TikTok or on Twitter, people love those bitches on Twitter. I don't know why. It's such a cheap story. And then people will tell you, because this is like a 9-book series, it's about all of the Zodiacs or whatever, I don't know. I don't know why the Zodiacs were in there, because they had nothing to do with the book, but okay. They would drop lines like, I'm a Taurus, I'm stubborn. And I was like, okay, bitch. I didn't ask. For the way it was hyped, I was expecting way more. I was expecting this to, like, literally blow my fucking tits off or something. And all it did was make me depressed, so I don't really, like, I literally lost. Don't read it. Honestly, I would never recommend the Zodiac Academy to anyone. And the thing is, whenever I see videos on TikTok and stuff talking about it, I always have the urge to tell people in the comments, don't waste your time, but I never do. Okay? I never go onto anyone's post or anything and I'm like, no, I think this book is shit. Don't read it, because I'm like, I'm gonna let people have their fun. And if they read the Zodiac Academy and they're like, this is the best series ever, I have to read like 4 books to get into it, but whatever. The main characters, I don't know, beat each other up and then fuck, that's hot. Then I'm gonna let them have their fun and keep my peace. Serpent and Dove. Honestly, the thing is, like, I don't remember the main characters' names, but I do remember that this is like a Nina Matthias retelling from Six of Crows. Basically, retelling. Like, this is a fucking Grimm's fairy tale or some shit. Like, Nina Matthias is a fairy tale. Chill. It's a classic. No, but this was like a complete knockoff and ripoff, and it was written really badly. It was like something about tits in there, like a titty song. It was really poorly, and I do remember some things. I would not recommend this to anyone. Not even my worst enemy. It's not good. I don't remember the author either. There's too much stuff in my head. I can't remember all of this shit. I don't have anything else to say. The Atlas 6, oh my god, that's a book. I am gonna put this into would recommend to someone I hate. If you expect something mind-blowing, not mind-numbing, bitch, slay. I came up with that. The Atlas Paradox is the second book, and it just came out this year, I think in like October or something. I never saw anyone talk about that. There was so much hype about Atlas 6. People were like, ah! They were screaming. That's how they scream. And then the second book came out and no one ever talks about that. So what's up with that? What's up with that, huh? Is it that bad? Honestly, I didn't like the first book because I felt like it was trying to do so much and it just didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. And I felt it was very like pretentious in a way that like I don't really know. I don't really know anything about the Atlas 6. I just didn't like it, and if someone asked me like, "Oh, what can I read?" I would like, "How's the Atlas 6? Is it good or not?" I would probably say like, "I didn't like it, but you can give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it." I wouldn't denounce it. I wouldn't, like, say, this is the worst book I've ever read in my life. I would say, like, I fucking found it boring as fuck. But there was a threesome. Non-explicit, guys, okay? Don't get your hopes up. Lightlark, oh my god, this is such a controversial topic, but if I'm gonna be honest, like, the author, she gets on my fucking nerves. The amount of times I get her TikToks on my For You page, and every time I'm like, is this the same TikTok? But no, it's not. She keeps making TikToks about when you are under 30 and you are on Oprah. I don't fucking know anything American, I'm sorry. You're on Oprah, you're on the Daily News. I don't know. Everyone said you wouldn't make it and now you are the best author in the world and you have a movie deal. I'm like, I don't care. Like, literally no one asked, and this is like every other TikTok by her. It's her entire personality, and listen, if that happened to me, I would also be proud of it, but it's not deserved. Like, it's not deserved at all. And you know what I'm gonna do? Alex, if you're watching this, I'm gonna put it in a fucking Wattpad. She's like, oh, I have to take my birth control. That's not what she said, but that's what I said. 1 second. She's stated many times that like every single publisher, 20 different publishers she tried to publish the book with, none of them wanted to publish it because they didn't believe in the story, but she believed in herself and she came out on top. Bitch, this is not Harry Potter. This is not Harry. You're not J.K. Rowling. Luckily, fuck that woman. But also like, you know, because Harry Potter, like no publisher wanted to publish that either, and now it's like, it's Harry Potter. Like, that's not what's happening with you, woman. Like, you're a nepo baby. Chill out. I fucking hate that woman, honestly. She gets on my fucking nerves. I feel like, no, I'm not. I shouldn't talk more. Sometimes you need to stop yourself before you become too hateful, but maybe my 2023 resolution is gonna be that I'm gonna be less hateful. There's a very slight chance that's gonna be successful, but you know, we can try. No, Lightlark was actually bad. I've never seen anyone like post a good review about it. The only people that I see liking it are the people in her comments. And are they real people? Or did you buy those? Because like, who actually has ever said I love Lightlark? No one has ever uttered those words and meant them. Because I just, you know, she doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve it. Honestly, like, she gets on my fucking nerves. Lightlark is a bad book. It's genuinely bad. There was no redeeming qualities. And even if it hadn't been hyped the way it was, and even if the author wasn't getting on my nerves the way she was, I would still make a rant video about it. I would still hate on it. I don't exclude. I don't discriminate. Like, I will hate on everyone, regardless of the fact of who you are. You know, if your book is shit, you're gonna get hate. You're not gonna get hate. You're just gonna get rant. Constructive criticism. Let's move on. Ugly Love, Colleen Hoover. Oh, fuck, I touched it. No, wait. No, it has the red lines. Whatever, you have to look at that. Fuck Colleen Hoover and everything she writes. I have one girl in my uni, and when she found out that I had a YouTube channel, she was like, slay. She was like, slay, that's so cool, I also love reading. And then she asked me if I'd read Colleen Hoover, and that is the first conversation I've ever had in real life about the books that I read. Actually, that's not true. One time, my friend asked me if I'd read ACOTAR, and I was like, bitch. ACOTAR? Bitch. That was my entire personality when I was 14. Anyway, the girl from uni, she asked me if I'd read Colleen Hoover, and I generally, like, that was the first time I was being tested because someone told me that they loved Colleen Hoover, and I had to stand there and be like, she's super problematic, and I don't condone her writing, and I don't love, like, her books are bad. And she was like, well, I liked them. I was like, okay, that's good. And then we never spoke about it again. Because, like, if you like them, that's good. But, like, Colleen Hoover, I just, you know, I genuinely like this girl, so I didn't want to, like, say anything. Like, Colleen Hoover, no. No! You should read Verity from Colleen Hoover. It's so good. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna like it. Like, nothing that Colleen Hoover writes, I'm gonna like. Nothing. Her writing is bad. She doesn't have a good writing style. She glorifies abuse. And also she's problematic in general. I don't like her anyway. Okay? Fuck her. Fight me. These hollow vows. Wow. These hollow vows was really bad. But I don't remember the writing. So I'm gonna put it in I don't remember anything. Because I don't remember the characters. I don't remember the plot. I know that it was like a ACOTAR knockoff. And it was advertised like that too. But I don't remember if I... Let's see. Let's just look it up. This is like not in order, bitch. Where's these hollow vows? I know I rated that shit. I didn't read Harry Potter. Why am I lying? I gave it 1 star. Well, yeah, I knew that. Well, whatever. I don't remember the writing. I don't remember anything about this book. I just remember that I didn't like it. And I would not recommend this to anyone because it's like... Just read ACOTAR at this point. You know what I mean? I just feel like people... They always advertise everything with ACOTAR now because it was so successful. But no one will ever come close to what that phenomenon was ever again. And also ACOTAR was just published in a different time. And I mean, Akomov changed the entire young adult publishing scene, if you want to say it. No, I'm just saying shit at this point, honestly. Nothing's ever going to compare to that. Like, you can read as many books as you want, but nothing's ever going to come close again. But fuck Sarah J. Maas. A Touch of Darkness is Wattpad. Listen, A Touch of Darkness was so bad. That's like a Firstophone. I still don't know how to say that name. Hades retelling, and it was like in a modern world, but just like lore-wise, it didn't really make sense. And it's like a whole ass trilogy, and I always see it at a bookstore. And then someone, the other day, I was at the bookstore waiting to be recognized, and someone was like, they were like girls with their friends. And then they were talking about the books there, and I always like to listen in. Like, I never give any input because, bitch, like, I'm busy. I'm busy sulking in the corner and I don't have any friends. But she was like, oh yeah, I just read the second book, it's so good. This is like a retelling of Greek mythology. And I was like, girl. Like, I genuinely want to know why you think this is good, because that book was like really bad. It was just like Zodiac Academy, it was super, super bad. The writing itself, it was so juvenile and I don't know. I want to be an author. I'm gonna write a book next year, bitch, and you better hype it up, and I'm gonna make it bad on purpose. I'm not even gonna fucking try. If shit like this gets popular, now I'm really getting mad. Oh my god. If shit like this gets popular, and these bitches don't even try. You can't sit there and write this and be like, I'm proud of myself, because like, did you read what you wrote? They just write one edition, like one draft, and they publish it. That's what this shit feels like. Caraval by Stephanie would recommend to someone I hate. Caraval is a really beloved series, and I thought I was gonna enjoy it. I don't know why. Sure, I'm gaslighting myself at this point. But I would recommend this to people because it wasn't that bad. It was just really boring and I didn't really like it. Sorry, it wasn't for me. Honestly, you know what the issue was with this? They were just doing different trials, and I fucking hate shit like that when they're just going from one trial to another, and that's the whole fucking book. Anyway, Caraval, they were just doing one quest and then the next, and there was like nothing else, and then at the end it all pays off, and that's it. And then I was just bored out of my mind also, because I knew like at the end they were gonna fulfill whatever they were doing. So what's the point of me reading? What's the point of me reading? There's like no stakes. You could tell there were no stakes. Yeah, so I would recommend it to someone I hate. If someone's like, I want to read fantasy, I would be like, yeah, read Caraval, sure. I always thought that Caraval was the same thing as The Night Circus, but those are like 2 different books apparently, so... Iron Widow. I don't remember anything of Iron Widow at fucking all. I just remember the nipple eyes. That was such a fever dream. That book. Like, genuinely, I don't know anything about it anymore. It was like giant monsters fighting. But I remember feeling like the writing was kind of bad. It was like a very feminist agenda, which is something that's good, but it was just not done well. It was just not done well. Like, the message they were trying to get across in that book, it was just not coming across, you know what I mean? And so I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, and I also don't remember anything. I don't remember the main character's name. I don't remember anyone's name in this fucking, like, I don't remember anyone. The Love Hypothesis. I would rate that, I would recommend it to someone I hate. I don't know anything about romance books. The thing is, sorry, I have to put on, do I look silly with this lip color? Someone tell me. You're my friends, you have to tell me, do I look silly? Am I like slaying? Because I was thinking about like, I want to be a slay girl next year. Like I want to glow up. My boyfriend got me a yoga mat for Christmas because I was talking about like I want to be a hot yoga girl. And so he was like, I'm going to get you a hot pink yoga mat. And I was like, wow. Like now I have to do it because he got it for me, you know what I mean? Love it. But then I was like, I want to have like a glow up and I need like something that's like, when people like think about Sophie, that's like what they think about. I was thinking if I should do like red lipstick, but I don't know if I look silly. It doesn't have to be this one. I've had this since I was like 14, so it's definitely expired. Also, should I get lash extensions? What else should I do? Get a boob job? If you watch my ads, I will. No problem. Anyway, back to the Love Hypotheses. That book is a Reylo fanfiction. Reylo is from Star Wars, if you don't know. It's a romance book, and Ellie Hazelwood is the author, and I know her name because people talk about her, and they need to stop talking about her. She doesn't know how to write books, which is why her publisher literally gives her, like, the ideas. This is something she said in an interview. They give her the ideas, and she just writes about them. She doesn't know. She doesn't come up with her own shit. She doesn't know. She just writes, and it's not even good. Like, why isn't your editor writing a fucking book then? And that's, like, weird, okay? That's really fucking weird that that's the case. But nothing else. Nothing but. I read this book, I wanted to start reading, like, different genres, and read romance, and I realized, fuck contemporary. Like, honestly, contemporary fucking sucks. There are no stakes in contemporary besides, like, couples having miscommunication and cheating on each other, and that's, like, the whole fucking issues. But I need people to be dying left and right and being resurrected and war and shit. Not this. This is boring. But if people ask me, hey, have you read that book? I would say, yeah, I didn't like it, but I also don't like romance, so I'm not a good judge. And also the sex scene was really cringe, because Adam Driver has a big penis, apparently. Or whatever the fuck the character's name was. I think his name was also Adam, but not Driver. Adam Walker, maybe. She did like an inverse. She like used the same names. Okay, like we have Queen of Shadows. Queen of Shadows gets to be in Queen of Shadows. Listen, y'all. I read the entire Throne of Glass series because I did a video where I talked about the first 3 books, and then I also read the last 3 books. The Throne of Glass wall is still up. It has been up since summer, and I still haven't finished that video where I talk about the last 3 books. And I keep filming it like occasionally, but it's just so much fucking work because I film it on my phone, and whatever. I don't have any storage, and then it's just like whatever. Whatever. Queen of Shadows, I still love it. I still love it, whatever you fucking say, I don't care. I read the Throne of Glass series as it was releasing, and the first book that released as I was reading it was Queen of Shadows. So when I read it, the first 3 were already out, and then Queen of Shadows came out, and so I have very fond memories of that. And it's the same for Akomoth, okay? I read Akotar, and then I had to wait for Akomoth to be released, so I'm like an OG. I'm an OG reader, okay? All you fake fucking bitches that just started reading this year, you don't even know what reading is. I'm kidding, I don't judge, okay? I also don't judge for how many books you've read this year. I don't know why that's like a conversation at all, like it doesn't matter. I literally have a booktube channel, and I only read 20 books this year, and people have read like 100, like calm down. Bitch, I'm busy, okay? If you can read 100 books, slay. I can't. It reigns superior above a lot of books. And if I had to rate the fucking Throne of Glass series overall, I would probably give it 4 stars. I think there has been no series that could come close to what Throne of Glass has done. You know what I mean? Like, if you started publishing something now, you would never get there. You would never get there again. Sarah J. Maas was just riding off that high, you know? She started publishing at the perfect time, and, I mean, that's why she is where she's at now. But yeah, if I had to rate the Throne of Glass series overall, I would give it 4 stars, but I can't really judge it. I'm biased, since I did read it when it came out, and I was really young, and so I have a very fond memory of all of those books, and out of all of the authors in my shelf, and that I've ever read, Sarah J. Maas is the only one my mother knows. Like, I remember reading, and she was like, oh, it's that book by Sarah. Like, she doesn't know her full name, she just knows that the first name of this author is Sarah, and she's like, oh, did Sarah publish a new book? And I was like, bitch, you remember that from when I was fucking 14 reading those books and talking about it? Because I was so obsessed with them. I was genuinely, like, that was my whole, I wasn't lying when I said that was my whole personality. This Woven Kingdom, I don't remember anything. I would not recommend this, and the writing is fucking Tahara Mafi. Like, you can't really say, like, the way she writes, I've never met a person that writes the way she does, and it's like, she needs to stop doing that. And also, I think the cover is mad ugly, and you know what other cover I think is mad ugly? Listen, I don't care what you say. I don't care if you find this pretty or not. This is ugly. Foul Lady Fortune is, yeah. I think this is, I don't know why they're doing this. It's like the same style. I think this is so fugly. This is like graphic design is my passion. No, I'm not, like, I'm not down for it. Sorry. I don't know. We're critiquing the fucking covers now. Should I do a ranking video about the covers? At this point, like, honestly, the Shadow Me series had like a really, also I read that when I was 14, I read everything when I was 14, has like a very special place in my heart. Erin Warner was my first ever book crush. And so also that like the way she continued that series was ass, and then she started doing this, and it's like I need you to stop trying. Like I don't even know. I don't remember anything. I don't remember the main characters' names. I don't remember the plot. I just remember very vividly. I still have this book because I tried selling it and no one wanted it. By the way, no one wanted to buy this book because it's so bad. I'm gonna spoil you now, okay, for the last sentence of that book because I have to talk about it. It's literally the main character falling off a flying. I don't know if it was like a dragon or a horse, like some, I think it was a dragon flying, and the last sentence is like she screamed and fell, and that's it, and that's how the book ends. What in the fucking 2012 is going on here? She screamed and fell? What the fuck kind of end to a book is that? Like we've been new, you know what I mean? Like she's not gonna die, but like I laughed when I read that. That was terrible. That was terrible. I was like excited to read it, you know what I mean? I was just thoroughly disappointed. Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. I gave it 3 stars. I did give it 3 stars. I don't remember what I said about it. Oh, I had a lot to say. The plot plays out similar to the first book, so it's literally just a huge info dump at the end, and the reader barely gets to figure anything out themselves. Also felt like Sarah J Maas didn't know what to do with the characters because there were so many. Period. I didn't like that book. As I said in my review, I think the way that Sarah J Maas went about revealing her shit in the book, it was the same as in the first book, and there were so many fucking characters. But the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's something that gets you excited for the next book and also for everything else that she's going to do with all of her books. And so I'm excited to read that, and I literally cried when I read that. I'm going to admit that. Go watch the video if you want to see it. So I gave it 3 stars. This was my only 3-star read. Now, that's it. That was my only 3-star read this year. Fairyborn was my last read of this year. I wanted to read one more book, but I didn't manage because I got sick and everyone I know got sick, and then like my life was just shit the past few days, so whatever. My last review was Fairyborn. It's Furyborn. I don't say Fury, I say Furry, okay? This book would have been better if it had been about furries. It was a shit book. I do remember it because I just read it, but I don't remember anything. Because I know that if you had asked me if another week had gone by, I would not remember anything. That's why I'm going to put it there. It's very forgettable. I think the author did a little bit more with the magic system and everything, but there were 2 POVs and they were related to each other, but in a way where you were like, how are they related? And like, why the fuck do we need 2 POVs? I think it would have been better if we had like a main story and then maybe she published a prequel series later on or something. I don't like the way she did it, and it's very forgettable. I only like that its name is Fairyborn. I also like the cover. Cover would get its ranking a little bit up, but fuck this book. To Kill a Kingdom is fuck To Kill a Kingdom. No, oh my god. Would recommend to someone I hate. Honestly, it's a standalone. Fuck standalones. But I know the author because someone commented it, or texted me on my private number, messaged me that whoever the author is, I forgot her name, she published books in the same universe, which I think is nice, but it's a standalone and I don't like standalones. But if I would recommend a book to someone, it would be more like who's getting into fantasy, I would recommend this to them because it's an easy read. Are my tits out? It's an easy read, and it's easy to get into fantasy if you read books like this, just like Sorcery of Thorns and Caraval. That's like a series recommendation, but Sorcery of Thorns and To Kill a Kingdom are both. Actually, I don't know if Sorcery of Thorns is a standalone. I keep saying that. Is there a second book? I don't fucking care. Don't tell me. I like intrusive thoughts coming out. I can't control myself. But there's nothing else to say. Like, I also don't remember anything. I don't remember the main characters. I remember that I didn't like the writing, but I would still recommend it to someone because I thought it was like it didn't make me mad to a point where I was like, beating up. Chill. I don't beat up anyone. I'm provoked. It was not to a point where it made me like scream and rip my hair out, but it was like boring. Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I don't remember anything. You see what I did there? Because like invisible, like, you know, and I don't remember. Yeah. I would recommend Invisible Life of the bitch to someone I hate. Honestly, people have hyped that book up way too much, like way more than it deserves. I don't know, it was so boring. And it's also a standalone. The issue with V. Schwab is that I think her story ideas are interesting. And I've said that before. I think her ideas are interesting, but she doesn't execute them well. And so I would recommend, but I think I gave it 2 stars. It was so boring. It took me forever to read. It's also a thick book, you know what I mean? I like the idea of it, but Addie was a really boring main character, and she was also a bitch. She deserved it. She deserved it. The Shadow Between Us. Okay, these are easy, the last 3. Shadow Between Us, I don't remember anything. Fuck The Shadow Between Us. What the fuck happened in that book? Yeah, that book sucked. I also didn't like the writing. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't remember anything. Very forgettable read. And that's not a good sign. If your book is forgettable, that's not good. You want people to remember it and recommend it to people. But if they don't remember it, how are they going to recommend it? I don't have anything to say. What the fuck did I say? My review is boring as fuck. Literally, like, no substance that I can go off of. Boring as fuck, bitch. Like, there's nothing else I can say. Song of Achilles was my first read of 2022. My first read of 2023 is going to be... I already said, it's going to be Babel. Babel. I try to start the year with a book that I think I'm gonna enjoy. Well, I did that last year, so I'm gonna do it again. And The Song of Achilles got 4 stars from me. So I'm gonna put it here, but just know it got 4 stars, but it's not Queen of Shadows level. The Song of Achilles is a book where I was also very afraid to make, like, if I wasn't gonna like it, how I was gonna review it, because I know it's beloved by many, many people. And that's, like, the kind of whole issue, I think. I mean, we're already at the end of the video, like, no one's watching anymore, but here's my rant. The issue with the book community is when you say that you don't like a book, people are immediately gonna attack you, regardless of what you're saying about it. Like, if you just say, I don't like it, I wouldn't recommend it, people are gonna come for you. You don't even have to go to the extent that I do, where you make a full hour video about it and you just, like, drag it through the mud. Doesn't matter, you can just say, I don't like it, and people will immediately, like, cancel you or some shit. When you're like, I don't like The Cruel Prince, which I didn't like, people are gonna be like, ugh, you have no taste. Did you even really read it? You didn't get it. Like, you don't know what reading or whatever, you know. People get crazy. And so I think a lot of people maybe are afraid to voice their opinion if they don't like something and really express it. Express it. And so that's also one of the whole reasons I did this channel, is because if I did like a book, I would tell you. And I liked The Song of Achilles. I thought it was fine. But I saw what books I rated 3 stars, and I was like, I can't rate this 3 stars, I have to rate it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fine book. I thought it was a little boring at times. But at the end of the day, I think it also just wasn't for me, like, in its entirety. But I gave it 4 stars because I see how other people like it. I actually understand it. I just want to take away the stigma behind rating books poorly. You can stand your ground and you can say when you don't like something, and it's fine, okay? The world keeps on turning. That's the thing about art, it's subjective. So if you don't like something, it's fine, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of this channel. And also, I'm just a hateful person. Being on the topic of hateful, last book, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Fuck her. It Ends With Us is a bad book, and I've seen people say they don't really want to rank the book. I don't really know, actually. I think it's like a personal story to Colleen Hoover. But, like, this woman can't write for shit. Peace and love, and also the book is just bad. So I gave it 2 stars because I was afraid that if I gave it 1 star, I was going to be crucified and people were going to, like, stand outside my window or my house and stone me. But fuck Colleen Hoover, fuck all of her books, fuck her. She doesn't deserve a platform. And that's the completed tier list. Period. Those are all the books I read this year. 22 books in total. I'm proud of myself because 22 books is a lot, okay? Even if you read only like 5 books, that's still a lot, okay? You read more than probably like a lot of people in the world. And you should not feel bad about the amount of books you read, because as long as you read, that's fine. And if you don't read, that's also fine. Other than that, if you have any recommendations, you can always leave them in the comments. If you disagree, you can leave it in the comments. If you agree, you can leave it in the comments. You can message me on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok. You can do whatever the fuck you want, bitch. We can do it. Woo! We're doing it. I hope you stay happy, you stay healthy. You make it into the new year good, because I don't think I'm gonna upload another video this year. Sorry. It's only like 5 days left, okay, bitch? I'm busy. I have to go into my hot girl, my hot yoga girl era now with my fucking yoga mat. I'm busy. Like, doing Pilates and shit. I hope you make it into the next year fine and, happy and healthy, and maybe I'll see you in my next video in the next year. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.